Hi, everyone, and welcome to Ronin's Den. This is another edition of Winry's Whimsical One Shots. Today, we will be playing External Containment Bureau, also known as ECB, which is a forged in the dark game that I found a while back and have been wanting to get to the table. We are joined by two individuals who have been with us before. We have Joe and Benny. Thank you both for being here tonight. It means a lot that you're playing this with us. Also, we have my co-host Eric. I will be emceeing the game tonight, which is, I think, the second time I've run a game for these one-shots. So let's see how it goes. As stated, External Containment Bureau is a Forged in the Dark game. It is basically the SCP Foundation, the role-playing game. You are all agents of a organization called ECB, and your goal is to find supernatural or paranormal or alien or whatever phenomena in the world and keep it from the public. We're going to start with all of you quickly introducing your character real quick. That way I can have an idea of who they are. And we will start with Eric.
All right, so I made things a little easy. My character's name is Eric. I am going to be playing a member of the Research and Development Division. It's going to be my current department. My specialty is going to be in the science background with chemistry as my focus. And that's going to be me. I got 3 different characters that I'm a little tied to as part of the system. They asked for 3 contacts. The first one's going to be my department head. That's going to be a woman by the name of Lisa Fox, a 60-year-old silver-haired stern leader of the Department of Research and Development. I have a positive contact who's an old friend from college named Todd Dazes. He's probably he's in his 30s, tall, average build, and likes to play entirely too many video games on his downtime. And then we have a negative contact. This is just somebody who's kind of like a thorn in your side type guy. His name's Gregory Smart. He also works in the Department of Research and Development. He's always trying to discredit the things I'm doing and one-up me to look better and get promotions faster.
Beautiful. I will say that the contacts probably aren't going to come up in this one shot. Those are more during the character creation to give the game master something to work with when you're playing in a campaign of this. So it might come up if I need something, might not. If I run out of complications, I might pull from that negative or some of those positives. You never know what I'm going to do. But anyway, Joe, please introduce me to your character.
My character's name, though redacted, is Jay Black, and my code name is Goat. I am an occultist in the occult research wing of our bureau, quote unquote. I currently work with the field ops department as well. My one standard issue bit of gear that I have is a cover identity by the name of Bill Peterson. That will be important in just a moment. My department head, and I want to share him because I'm proud of mine as well, is my department head is Janus of the Third Circle. And he's a professional looking dude wearing like an 1820 suit with silver hair and a well-groomed beard. My positive contact is a little eldritch entity that looks like a cartoon snowman named Jim Chill. And my negative contact is Bill Peterson. He's a pretty standard looking business dude whose identity I stole.
All right. Okay, and finally, Benny.
My character, his code name is Echo, and his background is that he was an academic who was in the business of disproving fake paranormal stuff and ancient alien stuff, and he stumbled on something that was real, which was how he got hooked up with the department. He has his investigation is his thing, and he is in the field operations department. His positive contact is a mentor named Steve Rohn, who's a professor but also does field work. His department head is named Keller, who's a very by the book kind of leader, and he's not. and his negative contact is an Agent Sanchez, who's also very by the book, who, when Keller's not within earshot, he refers to Sanchez as that dirty Sanchez.
All right.
I see what you did there.
Beautiful. Okay. The three of you have been selected to go on a mission together. Goat, you have been chosen because of your information, your knowledge of the occult, and the research within. Echo, you have been chosen because you are a field operative, and you always need a field operative. And Eric, they just needed you out of the office because Gregory got you into trouble, and they're like, well, we don't want you in here right now. So they're putting you on a mission. Your department head kind of likes you, but the rest of the department's kind of secretly hoping you die on this mission. So you are pulled before Agent 5. That is the only information you have of him. You know he's one of the highest ranking members in the organization, and he is about to brief you on your mission. You're pulled into a room, you're sitting at a table. He makes you wait an absurd amount of time before walking in with a file in hand, dropping it on the desk. He makes no eye contact with you. The odd part about him is that he has no pupils. And he walks in and he goes, all right, here's the briefing. We are sending you all to investigate the town of Cedar Hollow, specifically Walker Manor. Walker Manor is one of the oldest mansions in the country, and the family that owned its last living member died without having any heirs. The place was bought by a development company that have turned it into a bed and breakfast, and there have been reports of paranormal activity, supernatural activity, and a lot of things going on that just kind of blipped on our radar. We need you to go in, see if there's any truth to this, what's going on. If there is, you know the deal, contain it and make the public forget about it. That's it. Any questions? Still never looking up from the paperwork or looking at you. And the way he asks any questions is kind of like that, don't ask me any fucking questions. But he's like, any questions? Nope. All right, have a good day. Closes the folder and out the door he goes. Before the door closes, he stops it. Oh, if you need any requisitions before you go, you know the drill. Head to requisitions. And he walks off.
All right.
I love plausible deniability.
Right. I'm going to grab the folder. Oh, sorry. Go on,
I
Eddie.
really hate that guy. My character just going to say, I really hate that guy.
I do love that he doesn't allow us to ask questions because then neither of us can get in trouble.
Fair.
Yeah, hopefully the file has something in it, though, because all we have to go on is weird stuff is happening at a bed and breakfast. And frankly, that's about as descriptive as the opening scene to a Scooby-Doo cartoon. And I'm going to start flipping through the folder that they left there.
So the folder has information in it that is a couple of witnesses. One of them being the librarian had an encounter there. The mansion caretaker. So the librarian is Martha Hawkins. The mansion's caretaker is Evelyn Carter. And the neighbor of the building, Helen Warren, has had an encounter or two there as well. They have brief interviews, but most of it has been redacted. They have booked you all a week's stay at the bed and breakfast. So you all have a room in the mansion. The tickets or like the paperwork, the print, the itinerary, everything is there. As well as a contact with the local sheriff. The sheriff apparently knows that you're working for a government agency and that you're staying there to investigate based on the conversation that is in the folder. He is not happy about it.
Oh, Leos never are. What's the nature of these encounters that they had?
So the encounters are weird. So
I would
one
hope so.
individual will say that it's like a specter or a ghost. One person said it was little green men. One person said it was a human with no eyes that shrieked extremely loudly.
So
One
what it
person
actually
claimed
sounds like is drugs.
One person claimed that they saw themselves mirroring them and thought they were looking into a mirror, but there was no mirror. And when the researcher or the field operative that was there doing the initial questioning asked, well, how do you know it wasn't a mirror? He said, because I hit it with a hammer and it screamed and ran away.
So we have no consistency in the types of encounters that they've had. This is going to be a fun
They
one.
were weird.
It's just weird stuff going on. This reminds me of my LSD days, to be completely honest with you. Maybe a little bit of mescaline, but should be fun to investigate. At the very least, we get a relaxing stay at a nice bed and breakfast,
Of course, who doesn't love a work vacation?
right? I'm going to head down to requisitions.
I'm gonna start looking up the bed and breakfast on my phone. Do they have a continental breakfast at least?
They have every meal there. They have a breakfast that is to order. They have an on-site chef for lunch and dinner. Breakfast goes until 9:30. Lunch is from noon to 1:30, and dinner is from 5 until 7.
At least I can get pancakes.
Mimosas.
Well, guys, you have fun up here doing what you're doing. I'm going to head down to requisitions. I'm going to try and get a kit put together so I can at least run field tests while we're out there.
I'm actually coming with you. I want to requisition some protection, shall we say.
I'll
All right.
gather my own requisition if possible.
All right. You all head down to requisitions. There is no one really down there. They're just, you walk in, there's the one guy, they call him Toolman Tommy, even though it's not a tool shed or anything. He's just Tommy works down there, and no one knows how long he's been there or anything. He's one of those mysteries to the organization. He's just always been here. And you walk in and he goes, what can I get for you?
Oh, would you like to go first, Benny?
Sure. So yeah, I'm gonna request general. Since we don't know what we're up against, I'm gonna request a grab bag of stuff you might want if you were protecting yourself against paranormal things. A silvered blade, a pistol, some holy water, some garlic, like that kind of stuff.
Similar. I was also
Alright.
going to go for like Dead Sea salt and goat's blood in vials.
All right. So where is it?
And to be
I'm
clear, I'm
looking
not
for the-
looking for anything big or garish. And when I say a blade, I mean like a pocket knife.
Ooh, a letter
Okay.
opener. Makes sense to have with
to get requisition assets, you have to fill out paperwork, which requires a roll to see how well you filled out the paperwork. He hands you the paperwork, puts it in front of you. You roll 2d6s. We take the higher roll and determine how well you do.
4.
4. So you wanted just like a blade and what all was it again?
Blade, a pistol, some holy water, some garlic, just a general kind of a supernatural hunter's kit kind of thing.
All right, he takes your paperwork. He dots a couple things, signs something at the bottom, throws it in a cabinet, rips off a piece of it, and hands it back to you. Goes back into the room. He comes back with a briefcase, sets it down, slides it to you. There you go. Everything you requested.
All right, gonna pop open the briefcase and examine what I've been offered here.
Um, you have basically everything you requested. The blade is a little shorter than you would like. There's only like a clove of garlic in it, but it's still there. The water is just in a little vial. It says holy water, but it doesn't look like holy water, so it may or may not be.
Hmm.
It's like looks like it was shoddily put together, but he's like, there you go. Next.
Hello.
Oh, Eric. Or goat. It's been a while since I've seen you down here. They putting you in the field.
For now, see how long I stay. I
Beautiful.
need some Dead Sea salt, some goat's blood, and a little like, I don't know, just a water gun.
All right, make your roll.
So can I roll and then before I turn in my paperwork, use precognition to make sure it's going to check out okay?
To do that, you have to spend a resonance to use your power, I believe, correct?
I
Or
believe
mark
so,
a
yeah.
resonance. Yep, mark a
Mark a
resonance
resonance.
on your character sheet, and I will give you one additional die on that.
Okay. A 5, and a 2.
Okay. He goes, oh, spooky. Takes your paperwork, rips the bottom off, does the same thing, goes in the back, brings out for you, he brings out like a saddlebag and hands it to you. Once again, everything is just in there, not clearly marked as well as you would like it to be, but it's there. Hopefully that's what you wanted. Eric, my friend, it's been a while.
Yes. Well, I don't need anything quite as exotic as these other two. I'm looking for a field chem set, evidentiary set, like a forensics kit, and
All right, make
some
your
basic
paperwork
lab
roll.
equipment. And just 2d4, what's the highest?
2d6.
2d6, that's right. My highest is also a 4.
All right. The kit that he brings you is beat up. Like there's noticeable cracks in some of the beakers. It'll service and do what it's supposed to, but if he wanted to, he could have found a better kit. But he just didn't want to. So thank you for coming down to requisitions.
Is this because of what I did with
Your
Big
business.
Deborah during the Christmas break? Like, could I get like non-cracked glass?
The paperwork has been filed. When you return from your field work, you can request new equipment. Have a good day, my friends.
Do we also check off our one of the paperwork boxes?
No, not yet. You guys have requisitioned. I assume you all are going directly to the town.
I was going to stop at Disneyland first and ride the teacups.
No.
You do that.
Remember what happened last time?
I
But
only threw up because I
anyway.
ate the churros and drank like 4 Red Bulls.
You didn't just throw up, you threw up. FREW.
Yeah. But it was a lot of fun.
All right, here we go. You guys get in the plane, or you guys fly commercial, get to the airport. There's a car that has been sent by the ECB for you to drive into town. And this is where you are welcomed to Cedar Hollow, a small town that feels like a step back into the 1920s of America. Nestled in the hills and lush forests, Cedar Hollow boasts nice tree lines, a quaint town square, a beautiful library. It seems like this place has been here forever and just has never changed. Off on one of the far hills, you can see the giant manor that is the highlight of the town. As you go through, there are people on the streets waving to you as you come through. They're polite, they're nice. Does not seem like the place that supernatural or paranormal would occur, but typically that means it's where it most likely occurs.
As we're driving through, I'm just gonna, making my eye, or without looking away from the window where I'm just watching the people as we drive by, we're gonna die here.
I check to make sure I'm not wearing a red shirt.
Not wearing a red shirt?
Yeah.
All right.
You're not going to
you
die.
guys-
There's something to look after you two.
All right, you
I meant I
all
was
pull
gonna buy
up
property
to,
and retire. What did you guys think?
the manor. There are lots of places to park. There only seem like there's one or two other vehicles here. Real easy. You go in, there's a person walking around, dusting, straightening some stuff up the minute you walk through the door. Oh, welcome to Walker Manor, the wonderful bed and breakfast, historical mansion turned bed and breakfast. Are you guesting with us tonight?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Did you by chance print out your what the hell do they call those things you get at a hotel that says you, your confirmation paperwork, or do I need to look it up on the computer?
I believe mine is under the name of Bill Peterson.
Follow me into the side room here. She gets on her computer, starts tapping. Yes, we have a Bill Peterson. You are in the gold room. It is up the stairs and to the left. You can't miss it. It's painted gold with gold bed sheets and everything. That is the room where the late Kristen Walker, the most famous of the Walker family's daughter, stayed. She did not live past the age of 10, sadly, but it was a wonderful room and she was well loved there. And she hands you a key.
It was rather morbid. Just walk away.
Yeah, are we
Echo is
Turns-
going to step up and, adjusting but not taking off his sunglasses, he's going to say, mine should be under the name Smith, Aiden Smith.
She's doing that like two-finger typing, like she doesn't really know how to use a computer, and hits a button. Ah, yes, Aiden Smith. You are staying in the Red Room, which is believed to be where the late Kristen Walker kept his less than sanctioned relationships. And she hands you the key.
Thank you.
And you, kind sir.
You should find my reservation underneath Eric.
Eric.
Yes.
Yes, there is one for an Eric. Beautiful. You are staying in the purple room. And she hands you the key.
Purple. I love purple. Sweet. Any fun ghost stories that goes along with my room, or?
You mean historical events? No,
Yeah.
it was just a spare room for guests.
Oh. I'm going to sound a little disappointed by that, and I'm going to take my bag and start heading toward my room.
So to describe the mansion, it is a massive mansion. Looking at the little paperwork, the brochure that you were given with it, there appears to be 25 bedrooms, several bathrooms, a bunch of areas to like hang out. It tells you where the breakfast, lunch, and dinner are served, as well as 2 swimming pools out back.
Seems like an extravagant amount of swimming pools in one location.
You guys get settled in and everything's put away. What do you all do now that you are settled in and it is starting to become evening?
I think I'm going to break out my
I'm-
test kit and start going through it to make sure everything's in order and going to function properly.
In my
It
little
will function.
pocket notebook. Go ahead. Sorry.
It will function mostly properly. What was that, Joe?
I was gonna say I'm gonna start breaking out my little pocket notebook and start taking measurements to look for any sort of odd geometric issues in my room specifically.
Okay. I would like you to roll an action roll for me with that.
Okay. Just 2d6?
Which is nope, the action roll, let me find it. Had it on that page a minute ago. All right. So, I assume that you have 1d6 to start with. I assume that you're following all relevant bureau directives.
And that, and also any sort of personal research history I have. So
Okay. Does anything in your background apply to this action? Basically, you're just trying to make sure that all the geometry and everything is working the way it's supposed to, correct?
right, like for some reason, like there's not like a weird angle that starts happening, or that just doesn't make sense, or the wall moves into another wall, creating an odd space or something like that.
Okay. So your background, that's occultism, right?
Occult research, yeah.
I'm gonna say that I would let that go there. Relevant gear or requisitions, I don't really think that applies here. I don't think any of the stuff you picked up. And then, are you using your paranormal powers?
I don't see that precognition would help with this, so no.
All right, that is 3d6s. Roll them and let me know what you are trying to figure out, or let me know what you get.
A 4, a 5, and a 2.
All right. So basically, it is going to be a mixed success. You describe what you do to see your goal, which is you're taking measurements and stuff. You already did that. And I am going to describe what happens here. So the first thing I'm going to say is that as you're measuring, it's not adding up. So you're looking at the length of the room. Your eyeballs are telling you that it's like a 14 by 20 room. But as you measure, you have a 25-foot tape measure, and it's still going. You're at the end, and you're not touching the wall. You pull it back in, you measure again. You're not hitting any of the walls, no matter where you measure. You can see the wall. You can reach out and feel it. But it's not working. Suddenly, you're starting to feel disorientated. Like the room is bigger than it appears and almost like shrinking around you, but it's not.
So if I put away the tape measure and then close my eyes, does it seem to like this like calm down that sensation?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. I'll start making notes. As like once I put the tape measure away and the feeling passes, I'll open my eyes, and if it doesn't sit back in again, I'll just start taking notes.
Yeah, it doesn't kick back in. Echo, what are you doing while Eric is doing the stuff with his equipment and Goat is being disorientated?
I'm taking a walk around the hotel and around also the perimeter outside. And I'm going to be trying to just start getting a feel for what's going on, any evidence I can find to indicate what's going on with the place, possibly using my retrocognition to see if anything calls out to me of things that have happened here.
All right. That's going to be an action roll once again. You're following bureau directives. You're a field operative. You've done this before, so that'll put you to 3. I don't think any gear or anything fits here, but if you're going to use your paranormal ability, that will put you up to 4 dice, but mark a resonance on your character sheet.
1 resonance, got it. 4 dice. Do you just need the highest roll, or do you want all of them?
The highest, unless you have multiple 6s, then let me know you have multiple 6s.
I do not. I have 1 6.
All right. You do a lap around the building. You're going through the hallways. The first thing I'm going to say you notice is that you are lost. You will go up a staircase and you'll be back in the lobby. And you're going, wait a minute. You're going around the outside of the building, and based on how big this building is, you estimate it should take you about 10 minutes to go around the outside of the building. One time it took you like 2 minutes. The next time it took you about 15. Nothing is adding up. You are completely, like, time is distorted. You're losing minutes. You're gaining minutes. I'm going to say that is a clue that you have gained. So I would mark that down somewhere, that there is a temporal distortion here.
Got it.
And pretty much the 3 of you separate, like, I'd say you got there about like 5:15. You went to your rooms and you started doing your own various things. I'm going to say whenever you all meet back up, wherever you met up, it's only been 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, I want to do one
Like, you look at the clocks.
before we meet up, too.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So after I got my equipment all checked out, I want to find some things like in the room to run like a quick chem test on. Any water or left out food, like complimentary treats or anything they left. Because, like I said in the beginning, I get kind of like a drug vibe, possibly. Got to rule it out. You know, get rid of the easiest explanations first.
So this is a really high-class place.
Yeah.
There are mints on the pillows when you enter. So let's make an action roll. You're following directives. R&D, I think the background fits. You are using your gear. So that would put you to 4D or 4 dice.
Okay. That would be a solitary 6.
All right. You analyze this chocolate, these mints. You do everything. You're dripping to see if there's poison, drugs. You're putting the little stick in, pulling it out. Absolutely clear. There is no drugs in this chocolate at all. It is just 100% pure grade mint.
Is it mint or chocolate?
Both.
I'm like, it's that.
They're like chocolate. They're
weird.
like chocolate mints.
Okay, so they're like
Wait,
Andes.
but if he's only getting the mint in the chemistry spectrum, that's something that
Okay, so there's nothing weird about the water or the food they left out. That rules something out.
No.
Okay, that rules something out. That's good. We know we
Yeah.
know they're not drugging the food.
You
at
can
least.
tell there's no drugs that you can tell, and with a full success, there are no drugs here.
Okay.
So unless any of you are doing anything else before you all meet up,
Nope. I'm going to be a little disappointed that there's no drugs in the food. I was kind of hoping that they were at least trying to microdose us, but I'm going to go with the meeting up now.
all right. So all of you took a little time to do stuff, but you get back downstairs into the lobby where you meet up. It's been 10 minutes. You guys got here at 5:15. It's 5:25. One of you walked around the building and the whole place a couple times. One of you was taking measurements and doing all kinds of stuff. One of you was doing chemistry. It's been 10 minutes.
That's weird.
I'm good at what I do, but not that efficient and quick.
And unless the laws of physics are unique to this place, it takes at least 15 to 20 minutes to do what I was doing upstairs.
I've been wandering around lost for a good half hour, so yeah, there's something strange going on.
My room attempted to make me ill when I tried to plumb its depths.
I don't know what to say to that.
The room measured larger than possible.
All
of our rooms might function the same.
Oh, okay. I was thinking something different there for a moment. The good news is there's nothing in the food or the water they left out. We can rule that out completely.
Curious. You said it's about 25.
Yeah.
Dinner?
All right. You three head into the dining room for dinner. There are two. No, wait a minute. I wrote it down. There are three other individuals staying here. They are eating as you walk in. They're all very friendly. Hi. We didn't know there were other guests here. How are you guys tonight?
Doing quite well. And yourself?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. I'm here trying to sell some stuff. I'm a salesman by trade. Name's John Miller. Nice to meet you.
I'm gonna.
Yes. I am Bill Peterson, also in sales.
What do you sell? Go ahead, Eric.
I was gonna say, like,
curtain rings.
I was gonna say I'm just like really awkward because I spend almost all of my time in a lab, not around people, and I'm like, yeah, I'm out here on a business trip doing business stuff.
I sell shower curtain rings.
Huh. I okay. Beautiful. Yeah. So apparently it's pork chops for dinner tonight. We're really excited. So, hey, Emily. He's pointing to the girl like across the table. Emily, why don't you tell him what happened upstairs? Why don't you tell him? Come on, I don't want to tell them. Okay, fine. So I was getting my stuff unpacked, right? And my closet door opened all on its own.
Did it slowly creak open or fly open or?
Sure you latched it all the way?
So, well, I was standing there and I'm digging out my stuff and I'm about to put them into the drawer because I'm staying for a week. And I saw the knob twist and the door opened real fast, about a foot, and then stopped. I know it sounds crazy, and it's supposedly a haunted mansion, and everybody's gonna be hysterical and come up with ideas and stories that aren't real. But I'm telling you, it happened.
Miss, I do security work. I'm actually here as these gentlemen's bodyguard. I would be willing to volunteer my services to go up and just check out the room for you, make sure there's nothing there that shouldn't be.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I'm staying in the green room.
Gentlemen, would you like to accompany me up to the green room?
Sure. If you want to give me a moment to get some things out of my room to, just bring along with us.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab one of the salt shakers as we go.
Whatever. You guys head up to the green room. Coming out of the black room across the hallway from it is this rather large individual. Scruffy. He looks like he's 60. Scruffy beard. He comes out and he looks at the three of you. Hi.
Evening.
Good evening.
Were you guys
There's
the
no
ones
part of me.
knocking on the wall?
No, I was just heading back to my room to use the bathroom. Nobody's been knocking on a wall in this group.
Sure.
What
He
rooms flank his room?
Across the hall is the green room where Emily was staying. He is in the black room. Your room is to his left. Benny's is to his right. And Eric's is off to like the left diagonal.
Which wall were they knocking on?
He just looks at you. He's like, I don't know, just knocking. Sounded like it was on the door, but I opened the door. No one was there. Then I heard knocking again, and I come out, and the three of you were walking down the hall. So I assumed it was one of you three.
No, sir.
Okay. He starts to head off.
Make a note of that too.
Okay. You are at her door. It is currently shut.
Going to go ahead and draw my pistol, but not in a very such a way that it's not obvious that I'm holding it. I'm keeping it low, and I'm going to slowly and cautiously enter her room and do the full, check the corners as we enter, kind of motion.
So as your hand is about to touch the doorknob, it twists and the door starts to open on its own.
Okay, I'm gonna step back and not quite pointing at level, but raise my weapon slightly and be very attentively looking at whatever's coming through this door.
The door opens the entire way, and there is no one there.
Curious.
All right, gonna go ahead and press forward and just try to figure out what just happened.
All right. Since you were the first one going into the room, we're gonna do an action roll there. What exactly are you trying to figure out as you enter the room?
My immediate concern is what opened the door.
All right, you're trying to figure out what opened the door. Beautiful. You're following bureau directives, so that'll put you at 2. Your background, field ops. This is something you do all the time. I'd say that gives you another one. Gear and requisitions. If you can convince me somehow that would work, and then paranormal abilities if you're going to use them.
Gear and requisitions, not really. And yeah, I mean, I guess the retrocognition to try to figure out what was going on in this room just a moment ago.
All right, mark resonance and roll your 4d6.
1-6.
1-6. As you enter the room, you're looking at the corners. There appears to be nothing. You start to turn, and it's a split second. But as you pass the mirror, your eyes are just past the mirror, and you could swear that you saw this black mass just in the mirror tilt its head from behind the edge of the mirror in the mirror. So like the edge of the mirror inside the reflection, you just see this black mass and pull its head back.
All right, so I'm going to inform my companions of this. And okay, one of the reports had something to do with someone interacting with their own reflection, and now we've got the mirror doing something strange here.
As we're in the room, assuming we followed him in, I'm going to start measuring as well, like I had previously.
All right. I'm not even going to make you roll for that. Once again, you roll out that tape measure, and you get the whole 25 feet out, and this room definitely isn't 25 feet. You reach out, you can touch the wall that your tape measure just is going and not touching. Once again, that disorientating feeling is occurring. And if the two of you are watching him do this and looking at it yourself, you are also starting to feel that disorientation.
I'll again close my eyes and put the tape away.
Is he the only one feeling that disorientation from it?
If you guys are also looking at the tape measure as he's doing it and reaching out the wall and going, this doesn't make any sense, you will start to. If you're just letting him do it and not really participating, it doesn't affect you.
Okay, so it's not affecting me then. I'm going to be doing something slightly different on possible that level.
All right, what are you doing, Eric?
So when I went to the room, I was going to pick up some sensor equipment from the chem set, like air quality and thermometer, things to get some readings in the room.
Okay.
And I was going to be checking that kind of thing.
All right. So as you're walking around with the, we're just going to say this device you have does it all. It does temperature, air quality, everything like that. The minute he starts like measuring, you can see like him working with the tape measure. You see him like retract the tape measure and close his eyes. There is an instant drop in temperature. You go from 70 degrees to 60.
Ooh,
for
substantial.
Like 5 seconds, and then it spikes back up to 70.
Is it localized to one area?
So no, you actually walk around during that like 5 seconds, moving it, trying to see if it's just like a cold spot.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it goes until he opens his eyes. Once he opens his eyes, it spikes back up.
Do I notice that?
You can mark this down. You do.
Okay.
Yes. You can mark this down as a clue, and that clue is temperature fluctuations.
Okay, so we have temporal, distortion, and temp fluxing. Since I noticed what was going on, I'm gonna look over at him and I'm gonna go, hey, can you do me a favor real quick? Keep doing what you're doing, but close your eyes again.
So I'll pull the. I actually was thinking about testing this. I'm going to eyeball the distance from one end to the other and try to close my eyes, walk a straight line, walking 1 foot with each step, and seeing if I can gauge the room's accurate size from what I perceive. Like you mentioned, the rooms are about 20 by 14,
Yes.
roughly.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and walk it with my eyes closed and see if it matches that or if it does the same thing.
All right. We're gonna make an action roll for this. You're following bureau directives. That puts you at 2. I'd say your background in the occult gives you another one. Gear and requisitions, I don't think fits here, and I don't think paranormal abilities will help here. So that'll be 3d6s. So go ahead and roll.
And I'm gonna be watching my
A
equipment while
1,
he's
2,
doing
and a
that.
5.
What was it?
A 1, 2, and 5.
All right. On that 5, you start to walk forward. Eric and Echo, you are watching him as he is counting. You don't see him moving. He counts. He's like, and he goes, and you hit about like 25 steps in your mind, but you haven't moved at all, but you feel like your feet are moving. Eric, the temperature has dropped again. This time it has dropped to about 55. Joe, Goat, as you open your eyes, you see this black mass in front of you for a split second, and all of a sudden you have a sharp pain in your gut.
I'll keel over.
The two of you do not see this black mass or see him move, but you do see him keel over in pain. And the minute he does that, Eric, the temperature goes back to 70.
Did we physically feel the temperature change? I know he read it on his equipment, but did we feel it?
No, you don't physically feel it change.
All right, I'm going to run over to Goat, and I'm going to check him for any physical injury.
Some
Go ahead.
It's just some black entity was there just a second ago. Did you see it?
No, but hold still. Show me where it hurts you.
Yes. Gripping my gut.
If you look under Goat's shirt to his gut, there is a distinct, what looks like 4 knuckles, and it is just a black handprint just slammed into his gut. Or just like this part of the hand, and it is like stamped there, like something like made of coal or something that can leave like a black soot punched him in the gut.
Ugh.
Eric, do you want to take a sample of whatever got left on our friend here?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if there's anything that could be like scraped off without like scraping him.
You are able to get a few flakes into a beaker. If you want to go analyze it, that'll be another action roll. But we can do that.
Let's do that.
All right. You go back following bureau directives. It's your background, it's the gear and the requisitions. That'll put you at 4. I don't think your paranormal abilities work here, so 4d6s.
That is once again a singular die, a 5.
A 5. All right. As you are analyzing this, you're like looking through chemicals or like trying to figure out what it could be. You have like a little chart that tells you you're a chemist, you know all this stuff. This does not register. This is whatever this is, it's not from this planet or this dimension or whatever it is, it's not from Earth.
A quick question, since this is the kind of stuff we deal with, would more exotic substances be aware to us, like an ectoplasm, for example?
Yes, I would say that. This is not that. This is because you made that point, if he had got a 6, I would have gave that information. But it was only a 5, so it was a partial. That was that. Also, Eric, you're looking at it. Nothing is adding up. At this point, your closet door bursts open, and you just feel a gush of air that blows all of that away that you had like on your testing and whatnot. Any like little remaining flakes blow away, and then the door slams shut. And it is a distinct slam, not like pulled shut. Like whatever this was, it was like, fuck you, go away.
No good. No good.
It is taking
So-
whatever this is taking. Oh, go ahead.
So what I would like to do, preferably with the other two in the room, I'm going to put the pistol away, but I'm going to have my knife at the ready. I want to repeat what Goat did, where I close my eyes and take, I believe we said 25 steps.
Yep. All right, that's gonna be yeah. What?
When I open them, if this strange black mass is in front of me, basically just shanking it.
All right. We're gonna do an action roll. You're following directives. I'll give you background for that one. So that'll put you up to 3 dice. I don't think gear and requisitions is relevant to figuring this out, and unless I don't know about your paranormal abilities or not, but you can add that if you want.
Can I
I'm not
assist him?
using my paranormal abilities, but I am using the knife I requisitioned.
All right, I'll give you that. So 4d6s.
Can I assist him with my paranormal ability?
What is your paranormal ability again?
Precognition. So my thought would be use the 2 resonance version to stretch my vision to the next few minutes to see if I can like tell him when he's about to, like, basically see if he's going to keel over and warn him right before then.
All right, yeah, I'll give you another D for or another dice for that. So that'll be 5 dice.
Highest is a 5.
Best is a 5. You are walking forward but not moving. The two of you can see that he's clearly not moving. Goat, you see that he is about to finish his walking, and that black mass is in front of him again, or in front of him like it was you.
When I
So-
see it's going to be there, I'll say now.
All right, Echo, you open your eyes, and that entity almost like flinches that you opened too early and like pulls back. You have a split second to do something if you want to.
Yeah, the plan was to stab him.
All right, you throw the knife forward. Your arm goes straight through him. There's nothing there's nothing solid. It disperses. And the two of you in the room that don't see the black entity, like Goat, you see it kind of in your mind, like you know it's there, but you can't physically see it right now. And Eric as well, you can't see it, but you both hear an audible scream. Echo, you do not hear the scream.
Hmm.
Is the entity still there, or has it vanished from my vision?
It's dispersed. So when you like
Okay.
put your arm through it, it was like you stabbed it and it just.
Something tells me it won't be gone for good.
Did it leave behind anything on my arm? Is there any of that soot or whatever you were describing?
No, there is not. As it dissipates, the door to the closet opens completely and stays open.
Is there like
You-
can we see into the closet?
It looks like a closet. It's a walk-in closet. To your eyes, it goes back about 5 feet.
Damn.
Gonna walk into the closet.
So as you walk into the closet, Echo, the minute you step through the threshold, you're no longer in a closet. The two of you watch as he goes through this door and just vanishes. Echo, you appear to be in a basement.
I guess we should
All right.
follow him.
Gonna go ahead and start exploring this basement.
All right. We'll see what the other two are doing real quick.
Yes.
Is there like a sink or a bathroom in my room or whatever room we're in?
There's a bathroom, yes.
Okay. In the bathroom, assuming there's a sink in said bathroom, I'm going to take some of my Dead Sea salt, pinch it into the water gun that I have with me, pour about half full of water, and then shake it up to dissolve the salt as best I can, and then come back out. Let's go.
All right. So do you step through the door?
I do.
You appear in a basement. You see Echo walking off to examine the basement as you step through. Eric, what do you do as Goat has now vanished as well?
Well, first question I have is when they were like walking before the entity hit them, were they actually moving their feet or are they just kind of standing in place?
They were standing still. You did not see them move at all, even though they said they were moving and counting the steps.
Okay. So I'm going to do I'm going to follow them, but before I do, I'm going to use my catch-all tool, and I'm going to try and gather readings on my way up to the door and around the threshold to see if anything's different from this side of the door to if I can read anything on the other side of the door.
As you are walking, the device does not change at all while you're walking up. As you step through, it actually the readings are impossible. It shows like negative 300 degrees. It shows like oxygen levels at negative numbers. Everything just goes completely haywire. You appear in the basement and they all come back to normal. Echo, you are scoping out the basement.
Yes.
You as you're scoping around, you notice that carved into the actual stone of this basement are a bunch of symbols and sigils, like concentric circles with writing within them. in a language that you as a field agent probably don't know.
Would I know them as an academic?
Uh yeah, I would say you do. This is a old dead language called Enochian. Like very old, very religious, and they are just scrawled everywhere.
Do I have any idea what it says?
Most of it is just gibberish. It looks like it's more symbols than actual like writing. It almost looks like there was a cult here that was doing something.
All right. Do I share my findings with the other two?
Enochian. Interesting.
You
Checking
can
out
mark
the symbols as well.
you can mark this down as another clue that there are ancient symbols in the basement.
The name Enochian, is that any connection to the name of Cain's first son, or is that coincidence?
Um, it it was coincidence.
Okay.
Before, so I'm gonna say it was coincidence. That
That's
was
fine.
I heard it in a TV show at one point, and I just use it as my spooky language. So, Enochian. So yeah, this is definitely something cultish was going on here. And they are littered throughout this basement.
I'm going
Okay.
to try and take a few pictures with my phone.
Right before you hit the picture button, the app closes. Every time.
Of course.
Of course, of course, of course, of course.
What
At
kind of phone would your
this,
character probably have?
Hmm?
What kind of phone would your character probably have, Goat?
Some sort of simple smartphone. Nothing fancy.
All right, so I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, but this is why you need an Apple, why you need an iPhone, and then I'm going to try to do the same thing with an iPhone.
I like my green bubbles, thank you.
so you try to do it with the iPhone, and right as you're about to hit the take the picture button, the app closes, and you go back to your home screen. I'm going to say that we are no longer in the play it safe portion of this, and that everything from now on is really risky. You guys are getting close to the epicenter of what is going on here. So everything now will be risky, meaning every roll will bring you closer to danger. But as you all are like looking at these symbols, you're trying to like take pictures. That doesn't work. You're looking around. I'm going to say, Eric, if you're still looking at your equipment, if you're like going around with your equipment, you step into one of the circles, like just walking through, and your piece of equipment no longer reads anything it's supposed to. Just a singular word is on the screen, and it says home.
Home. I'm gonna look up and call Echo and go over and be like, so this should never display things like this on this screen. This is not normal.
I
What
have a
can we
feeling.
determine about the circle that he stepped into?
I'm gonna say if anyone wants to try to figure out what's different about this circle, that is going to be an action roll. So one of you guys can decide to make that roll. And we'll base it off of following bureau directives. So that'll give you 2. There's background, gear requisitions, or paranormal abilities you can add. So whoever is going to make this roll.
I'm going to say somebody other than me because I don't really know anything about this language or anything.
Would my background in occult research assist with this?
It sure would.
Then I will attempt to see what I can determine about this circle.
So that is 3 dice. Gear requisitions. I don't think you have any gear here that would help. And then paranormal abilities I don't think would help here. So 3d6s.
The highest is a 6, 2 3s and a 6.
All right. You are looking at the symbols, and from what you've gathered, these symbols are trying to keep things out, not bring things in. From what you know about the type of the type of occultism that would make these circles, is there's typically some kind of power source that generates them. And that could be, it depends on who created them. That could be literally a generator. It could be a person. There's usually a power source. And it seems that the power source has gone out. And whatever it was trying to keep out is starting to seep in. And the words on his device being home could either mean that whatever is trying to seep in now thinks this is its home, or it could be telling you that it's coming from its home.
Interesting. I'll relay this information that the rituals, whatever these ritual marks are in this circle specifically, are to keep something out, but it's not powered anymore. Think of it like an electric
Do we
bug
know, or
zapper.
can we determine what would power something like that? Like perhaps a way to re-energize whatever it is?
So without having known the person who wrote these circles or built this, like I said, the power source could be literal. Like there could be a generator that they've basically bound to this, where as long as that generator's running, it has it. It could be a living person. So if the person is dead, they need another battery. There's 100 different things that it could be depending upon the person. Like if somebody wanted to be creative, it could be just a giant hamster wheel that somebody has to run in. It's something has to be a power source, and the person who casts the spell makes that decision.
And we know that the family that owned this place, the last member of that family recently passed away.
Correct.
And wasn't the room one of us is staying in connected to one of those family members that passed away?
My room, the gold room.
Yeah, the last owner, Curtis Walker, he had a single child, which was a daughter, and she passed away in that room. And then he passed away a few days later.
Where? Do we know?
You did not get that information, but you are in a town that was basically run by this family for centuries. You could easily find that information.
I think we might want to head back to your room. and do some digging, and then look up some stuff on the building.
Hopefully, whatever that thing was, we've disrupted it for a little bit, buying us some time to look into it. So yeah, I'm hoping we can just go up the stairs and leave the basement.
You are able to go up the steps and leave the basement. You actually come out. The door to the basement is connected to the dining room. So you come out, and all of them are just kind of like looking at the three of you. And they've got that look of like, wait a minute. And
It's fine.
The
We
kid
got lost looking
or
for the restroom.
Jimmy, I believe that was his name. Let me double check the name. John Miller. He looks at you. He goes, No. You got to explain that a little better than you got lost looking for the bathroom. You guys just walked through that door.
Just?
And then you came out that door. You look at the clock. It has been about 30 seconds since you guys said you were going to go look at the rooms upstairs.
I honestly don't know. Are you sure you're reading the clock right?
They're looking at each other like, unless we were really enraptured in a conversation, you guys literally just walked out that door. Are you the entertainment for? Are you the entertainment for tonight? Is this a trip? Is this part of the act? Is this part of the show? Like, is this dinner and a show?
Yeah, you got us. It's a thing we deal with trick doors. A good magician never gives up its secrets, but yeah, you usually it takes people a lot longer to figure it out than you just did. So, well done, you. Enjoy your meal. All right, come on, guys. Let's go on and let them have their meal right now.
He's got that like shit eating grin. He's looking at Emily. He's like, "Yeah, I figured it out. You didn't." Ha.
Guess we'll have to come up with a new parlor trick.
You guys, so you're headed to the black room, right? Or no, the
gold room.
The black room. Gold room, that was it. Yep. You guys head up. You go and the room, your door, did you leave your door open?
I left it unlocked.
Okay. It is wide open. The door is ajar.
I'll pull my water gun.
Pulling out my pistol and leading the way in, and once again the standard, check all the corners, stay low kind of maneuver.
As the three of you enter in and look, there is no one in the bed that you can see, but you know how like when someone is under the covers, there's like this, the shape of a person, and there's also the hole at the top where a head would be coming out, and you see it like rising and falling like someone is breathing.
That is concerning. I would like to bind it with my simple binding ritual.
All right, that is definitely an action. So you get the one for doing the action. What was that?
I was going to ask, can I assist with this in any way?
Do you have anything that would like a paranormal ability or anything that you think could be relevant to help out? Because I know there's like...
Actually, yes, because simple binding ritual is part of my field equipment.
Yeah, we're both field ops, so we probably both have it.
Okay. That is... I'll give you an additional gears and requisitions. I'd say that is... So the original, follow, relevant, background, and then 2 gears and requisitions. I'd say that's 5 dice.
All right. Uh, 2 1s, a 2 3, and a 6.
All right, so you have a single 6. You do what you do, and it is successful. Whatever this is bound there. At this point, it is no longer not visible. You can see this like spectral face of a young girl. It doesn't react to you binding it. It doesn't even react like you're in the room.
Okay. Is it awake, quote unquote?
From what you can tell, yes.
Okay. So the daughter is still here. Some other entity is also around. Whatever ritual is keeping something out is unpowered. This could be any myriad of things.
Are we able to determine if this is in fact the daughter, or could this be someone or something else?
I'll put it this way. It definitely looks like the daughter, but based on the fact it's not reacting, it's not like, even though you guys are talking, it's not looking at you, it's not reacting to anything you're doing. It's almost like this is just an echo of her. Not really like something sentient or mobile. It just looks like it's something that's stuck in a moment.
Is there anything else weird going on in the room now that she's bound?
Eric, are you looking at your equipment?
I am always looking at my equipment.
When they bound her, your equipment is erratic again. Like, it is going from positive 250 degrees to negative 20 degrees. It is saying like oxygen levels are high and low, and it is just all over the place. When they get it binded, they're looking her over and they're like trying to figure things out. You see something on your equipment that you've never, like, that word home was weird. There are now 2 separate temperatures. There is the one that is going crazy and one that reads 45 degrees on the opposite side of the screen.
Am I able to use the equipment to try and see if I can locate where these 2 different temperatures differentiate? Like, is there a spot in the room that is reading that steady 45?
Yes, that'll be an action though.
Okay.
So we'll need you to roll that. I'm going to say that is gear and equipment, background, following bureau directives, and your normal die. So that'll be 4 dice.
1 6.
1 6. So you move forward, you're moving around, spinning everything, or you're moving the gadget. You get to a singular spot where the temperature just reads 45. The one on the left goes away, and the main one just reads 45. You now feel the chill of the 45 degrees. At this point, you notice that in the mirror on the side of the room, this black mass is starting to build up again. It almost looks like when smoke starts slow and then starts to like billow up. and it is looking like it is coming for you guys. It is
Echo.
starting to like you can almost see it grab the edge of the mirror and start to pull itself out.
Echo, Goat, you guys seeing this?
Look back.
You two both notice it this time.
I'm just trying to squirt it with my water gun. My Dead Sea salt water gun.
All right. Go ahead and roll that die.
Just one.
Bureau directives, background, gear and equipment, and the normal one. So 46s.
3 5s and a 2.
All right. So you pull up your squirt gun, squirt, squirt, squirt. It lets out a shriek that all of you can hear this time. This time it rushes you. It doesn't dissipate. It hits you and you go flying into the dresser that was there. The dresser shatters and you're laying there. This black mass is now turning towards the entity that is on the bed, ignoring the three of you.
I'm going to take a shot with my pistol to see how this thing reacts to lead.
All right. So I'm not even going to say you need an action roll here because physical weapons don't do anything. You shoot a couple shots and it just phew, 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 right through the smoke.
Okay. And can I attempt to bind it? Simple binding ritual.
Absolutely you can.
If I am conscious and able to join in the binding, I will assist.
I'm gonna say you are still like trying to get splinters out of you and are pretty bad shape. In this game, you're not really like very durable. Being thrown through a dresser hurts.
Oh yeah. I'm probably busted up to all hell.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say that's once again probably 4 dice.
1 6.
1 6. You throw the ritual down. You say the little thing. Whatever it is you do. And as this entity is moving towards the entity on the bed, it hit almost like it hits a wall before you just see the smoke kind of like twist and this 2 bright red eyes appear out of the smoke staring at the 2 of you that are standing. It can't approach you. It can't do anything. It's just standing there.
I'm going to gather readings while they do whatever it is they are going to do.
Your readings, are once again just not doing anything. And then that word home appears again.
You know, I'm going to play with this. Are you saying this is your home? I'm going to keep a watch on the screen.
All right. We're going to do a fortune roll. This is going to be because of it. Let me double check how that all works. All right. So a fortune roll is 1 die If you have anything that you think could make it gain another die, you can try to pitch it to me. But that's really, it's not as cut and dry as an action roll, so you have to try to convince me that you can get another die because of a reason.
No, I don't think I have anything.
All right, roll your singular die.
That's a 6.
All right. So, as you say, is this your home or whatever you asked?
Yep. Is this,
The
are you saying
word
this is your home?
the word disappears and it says our new home.
Our new home. Okay. Guys, this is answering questions. We can get answers from it. We can communicate.
Wonderful. Maybe you can ask it why it's such a dick.
I usually find it's not best to antagonize the black vaporous creatures that have supernatural abilities.
As Goat asks, you can ask it why it's such a dick. The word dick appears with a question mark.
Why are you attacking us?
The word parasite appears.
Are you the parasite, or is the thing in the bed the parasite?
The word disappears and the word humans appears.
Horse.
Ah,
Can't you find another home?
What's your...
At this, what? Go ahead.
No. Go on with that one because there's got to be an answer for that. Then I have one as a follow up.
Nothing appears when you ask, can't you find another one?
What's your
Okay.
connection to
Fair
the
enough.
girl?
The word remnant appears.
Remnant. Echo, go. Either of you make sense of that?
are you a remnant of the girl?
The word remnant just continues to appear.
Is the remnant of the girl hurting you?
The word gate appears.
When it said new home, did it say like my or our? I don't remember.
Our.
Is the girl the gate to get into this house?
The word gate stays, but the word keeper comes after it.
The girl is the gatekeeper.
At this point, the smoke appears to have this smile appear on its face that is glowing. And suddenly, it just poofs.
All right, so it seems like the girl was the gatekeeper, and the remnant of the girl is the only thing that's stopping that thing from physically manifesting. Maybe.
That's a good theory. I'm gonna say that gatekeeper is the next clue that you guys got. If you guys have a theory, you can now go to try to make the theory roll to identify what it is. If you have an idea, you can discuss for a minute. And that will put us into the next portion, which is trying to figure out how to contain it and obfuscate it from the rest of the town after that. But if you guys want to try to get a little more clues, that is also up to you guys.
I have a theory, but I don't know how valid it is without more information.
What's your theory?
Also, yeah. Also, remember, you guys make up a theory. It can sound far-fetched and like not be what I'm thinking. As long as your roll is good, that's becomes what it is. If it's a poor roll, I can say no, you have a couple holes yet, you got to dig a little more.
So the prior owners, especially the last set of owners, the dad or whoever was some sort of weird ritual occultist or part of a master, like a large cult. And I don't know, maybe something was up with his daughter and she was like a locus or a font or some sort of like center point of weird occult energy and was drawing things to it. So he used his own daughter as a generator to keep her from or keep her safe from whatever these things are. But that's incredibly far-fetched.
Eric,
Because
do
it
you have
doesn't
anything to
account.
add?
Eric?
What was that? I heard
Do you have any
sounds.
theory you care to add?
Not really. It's something to do with the kid and the parent, and the time, like the delay, like the fact that the death came so quickly after, and there's a fixation with the kid being the gatekeeper. I got something there, but that's all I have at the moment. And we have the Enochian symbols downstairs. Couple that with the temporal distortions, the temperature fluctuations. There's some sort of, in my opinion, spell or something, and I think it has something to do either with reversing time and a death, or a way for this entity to come from whatever dimension it's in to this one. Because the one thing we don't have as a clue on our sheet, but I don't know how I'm gonna communicate. The one thing we don't have while we're talking about temporal distortion is we don't have spatial distortion. And we very obviously had a spatial distortion going from upstairs to the basement combined with temporal distortion.
That's fair. I'll give you that clue. That wasn't one I wrote down, but you made an argument that makes sense, so you can write down spatial distortion.
Okay.
So here's what I think happened. I think some point in the past, this family made some sort of spell or formula or whatever you want to call it that allowed them to call on some kind of extraplanar power, and it's probably how they made their fortune. If you think about what someone would be able to do who could manipulate time and distance, that's a good way to get very rich very quickly. And I think the daughter was in some way connected to holding that power at bay. And with the family dying out, there weren't enough of them to keep that power under control anymore. That may very well be what she and the dad died of. So now we have this a little bit like a faucet where the tap is broken, so now everything's trying to come through.
And the remnant of the daughter is
With the
basically that drip from the faucet being turned off that hasn't completely run out yet.
Yeah, the remnant is the last thing holding it back, I think.
They want us to open the door and let all the air conditioning out.
So what we need
That
to
makes
do is
sense.
figure out a way to establish to just cut the line altogether.
So, if that is the theory you guys want to go with, we can make that theory roll right now.
For me.
I'm comfortable with it.
All right. Okay. How many clues did you guys pick up so far?
5.
If we are getting the spatial dilation, yeah, if we're getting the spatial dilation as a clue as well, 5.
Fudge, where is it? Theory roll. There it is. All right. So you roll 1 die per clue that the players use to answer the questions below. Players may use multiple clues to answer each questions or to get more dice. So we are on the what is the phenomenon part. So one of you can roll that. You guys decide who that is.
Not it.
I don't mind rolling the first one.
All right.
So do we get all 5 dice for each one?
You get all 5 for this one. Yes.
Okay. 2 6s.
The agents were correct. Also, the phenomenon is either less dangerous than expected, or the agents have found something specific that greatly mitigates the threat. When we cut to the action, the agent's position is now play it safe. I'm going to say with that crit, you guys figuring it out, you figured out that the remnant of the daughter is the last thing keeping this at bay. If you can build another battery of some kind, you can keep it at bay. The agency is really good at this kind of stuff. Basically, there is another worldly incursion happening here. There are entities that are malicious, that want to end humanity, that are trying to come through. And you guys know that the only way to keep them out is to keep a battery to keep these sigils in the basement operational.
Okay.
Now we go into the containment portion, which is how do you guys think the agency could contain this? What is the most plausible outcome or the plausible way to contain this phenomenon?
Well, in the short term, we would need to power the ritual again, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
I have a twofold thought. If literally a generator can work, like electrical generator, could we just connect it to the breaker box?
Yes.
Okay. The second part of the plan is battery backup. If in case the power goes out for a few hours, you don't want the ritual to be, you don't want the house to be haunted if there's a blackout and then suddenly not haunted anymore if there's not.
You mean you don't want like a Ghostbusters
All
1
right.
situation where they turn off the breaker and then all hell breaks loose in town?
Precisely. Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful. I would say that is a perfect plan. So the next step would be to roll those 5 dice again to contain it.
Who wants to roll this one?
Oh, I think Echo could go for this one, and I'll do the last.
Okay. I did get 1 6.
1 6. All right. Your theory about connecting it to the breaker box has worked. Your occultist there has helped you guys with the 2 of you. You have redone the ritual, which has connected it to the breaker box, giving it temporary power to sustain. Everything is now, all the sigils are glowing where they weren't before. The distortion seems to have stopped. Time is working correctly. And the remnant in the gold room has completely dissipated. Now we go to the final step, which is how will you obfuscate this situation?
I got an idea.
Obviously, having people in here could lead to problems.
Yes. And I got I got two ideas. Now, the first idea is hiding it in plain sight and playing into it. We could station employees of the Bureau and allow this place to continue to function, because it would be really weird if it just went out of business. And we treat it like a haunted bed and breakfast experience. Kind of like how you go to some dinner theaters where it's a murder mystery while you eat and it gets played out. Play into the spooky side of things. It makes money. There are tourists. We could use it to fund research and development for the Bureau. If anything spooky happens, it's easily explained away and played into as part of the show. People will come to experience it, and we can use that as kind of a temperature gauge for if things start getting out of whack and we need to put more corrective action into better containing the situation.
And it would allow us a research station for otherworldly incursions as well, like reaching into whatever world these things were from, if we can get better readings on the location.
And we have test subjects that aren't aware of what's going on, that are truly blind to the fact that they're being tested on, and they can't influence the results.
We could even go a step further with this, which is we could have my mentor, Steve Rohn. We could have him come through with his documentary crew now that the situation is under control and there's nothing paranormal happening. We could have him come through and do like a Mythbusters type thing, proving that there was nothing happening here. So we can publicly document that everything is fine while continuing with your haunted bed and breakfast. We can cover it from every angle.
Yep. And if something does happen,
warehouse thing.
Yeah, if we do have something happen again, we have plausible cover. It's part of a business.
Absolutely. Yep, 100%.
I love it. Eric, make that roll.
That would be a 5.
All right. Get back to that page, Steve. Where is it? All right. What is going to happen is your theory almost worked. For the interim, it does work, but there are a lot of skeptics who still believe that there is something paranormal here. And your haunted bed and breakfast idea has brought a lot of paranormal investigators who are still determined to prove that something that isn't quite right has gone here. It has almost caused a breach a couple times. And eventually the bed and breakfast had to shut down for a while to be restructured, but did reopen with your idea again after some of the heat died down. And I will say that is where we're going to go into the mission debrief, which is the end of the session. You guys finish out your 5-day stay, get everything set up with the Bureau. You go back to headquarters and you are brought into a room where Agent 5 comes in with a clipboard. Once again, no pupils. He doesn't even look at you. Goes, all right, quick debrief. Did you identify, contain, and obfuscate the phenomenon?
We did.
Beautiful. Did you avoid civilian witnesses? Did you avoid civilian witnesses and secure all related evidence?
Nicely.
Yes.
Did you cover up the identity of the phenomenon?
Absolutely.
Did you cover up the existence and purpose of the Bureau?
Never even came into play.
Did you avoid civilian casualties and collateral damage?
There was none.
Well, there
Did
was
you
a
obey?
there was a dresser.
What do you
Dressers-
mean there was a dresser?
Dressers don't count their
It
furniture.
got a ding. Yeah, just a furniture piece.
You see him put a mark on the clipboard. Did you obey all sanctions and prohibitions placed on you by the Bureau?
Yes.
It seems all of you are alive, so I don't need to ask that question. All right. Thanks, boys. And he just walks out again.
Oh, well, that was
That's it.
his normal chipper self.
All right.
Thank you. Wouldn't be too much to ask for every once in a while.
Feel like we don't want a thank you from him.
So Echo's going to get up and shake Eric's hand and say, "Thank you. It was a real pleasure working with you."
So the two of
Absolutely.
you the three of you walk out. Goat. The next day, there is a piece of paper on your desk that is an incident report that is basically making you fill it out to explain why there was a destroyed dresser.
And I will explain that I was tossed through the dresser by the phenomenon.
Okay. That is one paperwork for you. That is not going to come into play here. And that is External Containment Bureau. You guys found a phenomenon. You carefully obscured it and obfuscated it. Good job. And that is all I have for you guys. Thank you guys for playing.
Thank you for running. That was a lot of fun.
I really like
It
that.
was.
So, as always, what we do the following week is we'll get back together if you're available, and we will talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of the system. We don't talk about the game itself, like the story. We're just purely focusing on the mechanics of it. And then if we would recommend it, who we'd recommend it to, and why, and what types of games we'd recommend it for. So hopefully we can see you guys again next week for that episode.
Sounds good to me.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for joining us. This was Ronan's Den's Winry's Whimsical one-shots for the External Containment Bureau, the SCP-like Forged in the Dark system. We'll catch you again next week.